Hi everyone, it's the beginning of October and with the new academic year comes a new round of applications to study at Cambridge, and one of the things that makes Cambridge unique is the collegiate system that we have where you live and undergraduates you do a lot of your studying in your college and you get to pick a college. When you apply to Cambridge, whether you're undergraduate or postgraduate, you do get to choose. And I wanted to make a video giving you some what I think is good advice for choosing a Cambridge college, things that might be important and things you might want to consider and think about when you're applying. The first thing you should probably want to think about when you're applying and choosing, one of the first things that you might want to consider when you're choosing a college is actually money. So this is especially relevant if you're worried that you might struggle for money, if you perhaps might not have any savings or financial safety net whilst you're studying at university. Money might become really important. Although the university website will say that colleges are equal and they're more alike than others, it's true in some ways, but really not in the financial way. And if you run into hardship during your time at university, or if your laptop breaks, which college you go to can actually have a massive effect on whether you'll get any support or not. Even though the university does have its central hardship funding, a lot of colleges will have their own pots of money, and the amount of this money and who they decide to give it to will vary depending on your college. College financial inequality like this, where some colleges have more money than others and are more helpful with finance than others, is a really big problem and something I'm working on whilst I'm at the Students' Union at Cambridge. And with this financial inequality, you'll definitely want to be thinking about how much money your college might have in way of bursaries, scholarships, hardship funding. Trinity College have kind of tried to help with this inequality. Well, Trinity College are the richest college, and they are saying to widening participation undergraduates that even if you apply to Trinity then get sent to a different college, they'll still give you money. Students at poorer colleges unfortunately may not always get the financial support perhaps as much as they need, whereas students at richer colleges might have access to college-wide funding where they'll just have a random pot of money by a donor that will send you on holiday, and then you have to write about your experience on holiday, and they will just have money like that lying around, whereas poorer colleges might not even have any kind of tech funding. If your laptop breaks or anything, they might not be able to help you. This aspect of Cambridge is definitely something you want to consider. Like I said, the university does always have its own central pot of money, but it's always a lot easier if your college can just give it to you straight away. I would warn against instantly applying to the richest colleges, as they tend to also be the most popular, and that will increase your chances of getting pulled, i.e. sent to a poorer college, which is not as popular. So you're going to have to if this is really important to you, you're going to have to try and play the numbers game a little bit to try and gauge what college you might have the best chance of getting into that still offers money. It's a complex one, but what I will say is it's not the end of the world if you end up applying and go to a poorer college, or if you just fall in love with a poorer college. That is fine, and you can still go there, and there will be ways for you to get the money you need if it comes to it. But of course it is easier if you're at a richer college. The next point I wanted to make, which is actually kind of related to the first, is accommodation. Some colleges offer a wide variety of accommodation, especially older colleges, whereas they'll have very old built rooms, but then they might also have a more modern site somewhere else with ensuite rooms. But more modern colleges might have only ensuite rooms, and this depends on how important it is having an ensuite it is to you. So ensuite rooms can be more expensive than, say, a attic room at the top of lots of old stairs in a really old building. It totally depends on what you'd like, and of course you'll definitely want to be looking at the prices of accommodation. And of course you might want to be looking as to whether your college will be able to house you throughout your degree. I know that applying from a postgraduate perspective, a lot of colleges will try and house their postgraduates really far away from the actual college site, and I knew that I wanted to be near the college site where I can go to the buttery and formals easily, I can see my friends and the porters and things. I knew that that was something I wanted, so that's why I applied to the college I did, Magdalene, so I could stay on site because all of their postgraduate accommodation is really close by. This might not be as big a deal to you. A lot of postgraduates do feel more connected to their faculty or department anyway. That's totally your call, to be honest, but I really liked Magdalene. This next point actually connects to the last point on accommodation, which is actually the college buildings themselves. Do you prefer older colleges or do you prefer the sort of brand new look? Newer colleges tend to have been built more with actual student life in mind, for example, just having more kind of power sockets and maybe a cafe. Older colleges might sometimes struggle for those facilities, but a lot of people much prefer the look and charm of older colleges. If the look of a college is important to you, then definitely take that into account, but Cambridge is so beautiful and you can visit all the other colleges anyway, so I don't think it's too big a deal really. The next point is just kind of more practical, but it's whether your college offers your subject or not. For undergraduates, this can be important as certain colleges will simply just not do your subject, so they're automatically not an option. For postgraduates, you can get accepted at pretty much any college. Postgraduates tend to like to apply to postgraduate only and mature colleges. I'm not sure why, because I guess because I'm 22, I don't feel like that far removed from 19 and 20-year-olds. But I suppose if you were kind of late 20s or older, then perhaps you might want to stay in an older community perhaps. As well as that, we have 2 colleges, Newnham and Murray Edwards, which are female only. I think we have 4 colleges which only accept people over 21. Do we have 4? Maybe it's 3 now, I'm not sure. And we have 2 postgraduate only colleges, Darwin and Clare Hall. So undergraduates will not be there, even if you are an old undergraduate. The last point will just concern the general culture of the college and just those kind of vibes, which are easier to pick up when you visit it in person, but you can still do your research online. I'm thinking of Newnham College, and Newnham College, being all women's, tends to attract hijabis and LGBT plus people and people who are the intersection of both, and that's kind of what Newnham College is known for. If perhaps you would prefer to be in, I don't want to say it's more of a safe space than anywhere else, as I found that generally Cambridge is quite safe, but I think a lot of LGBT women and non-binary people like to go to Newnham because being an all-women's college, perhaps it just generally feels more supportive, and the same for hijabis. When you go somewhere where you know there's going to be lots of other people with a similar cultural background, it makes sense why you'd want to go to Newnham. Trinity College is known for being very prestigious, but it can also be known for being a bit snobby. It has a lot of money, but it can be quite gatekeepy. I don't really know how to describe it. But there's a real variety of people in Trinity College. I wouldn't take any of what I've just said as gospel. Newer colleges usually have more of a relaxed attitude. There's not normally tourists trying to constantly get in the door and porters constantly trying to keep people out. I found that Murray Edwards tends to have a very laid back and cool sort of vibe. I actually really like Murray Edwards College for that. It does have a really good relax. It has a high state school intake, and it's just a nice laid-back place to be. Churchill College takes 70% STEM students at undergraduate, so perhaps if you're doing a STEM subject and you want to find more like-minded people, that might be a college for you. My college, Magdalene, is known for being more traditional, but I don't think that's really reflected in the people there. Pretty much everyone who goes to Magdalene is just quite normal, and it's quite a normal subset of random people in the university. Homerton College is known for A, having a lot of education and PGCE students, and B, being quite forward thinking. It's the newest college. They have this program called Homerton Changemakers, which I'll put a link to in the description if you're interested. And it's got that sort of quite new forward thinking vibe, but it still has a few old buildings as well. It's quite a good mix. Jesus College, I think, is fast gaining a reputation as being a more environmentally friendly college. It's a very large college. It's also known for its sports, as they are right next to their sports fields. Darwin College, among postgrads, is also getting a reputation as being an environmentally friendly college, which is thanks to some amazing work of a friend of mine from Nottingham who came to Darwin, and her name is Meg. Good job, Meg. Those are all the ones that I can think about for now, but it's really interesting how certain people gravitate towards certain colleges and end up being accepted there. Anyway, I hope that this has been informative for you and will help you pick a college. If you have any questions about Cambridge colleges, then please let me know. I think I might do a video in the future where I go through all of the 31 colleges and just give in-depth thoughts, reviews, opinions on everything about each college. So their layout, their college colours, the people that go there. I can just give a proper comprehensive review. Please comment if you'd like to see that sort of video, and I of course will be happy to make it. If you've got any other questions, please pop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching.